Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the studio where even dreams believe. You can see that today is a beautiful sunny day again. I'm struggling to hide from all the sunspots in my studio, but I thought it is so beautifully sunny and we had so much incredible bird song this morning that I thought, let me make a video quickly and let's finish the transformation of this amazing forest painting. So now let's see here. Let's start. Let me share my screen. Okay, so you can see where we are with our progress, and I must say that I am very happy with what I see here so far. It has been a joy. Have a look at these beautiful flowers from my garden. Oh, aren't they just too gorgeous? I'm not sure what the English name would be, but the Afrikaans name is Malva. They are just so beautiful. Okay, I'm going to use them later to paint some watercolor cards from. Okay, all right. I'll stick them over there just as a pop of nature and a pop of color as inspiration. Okay, so you can see that I don't have my oils out today, but I actually decided this morning that I would love to finish this with the pastels. Now, if you look over here, you can see that I have brought in some pinks, and this reminds me of a pink heather. Now, I know you don't find pink heather in the forest, but remember, it's my forest, so I can draw or paint whichever type of flowers I want. Okay, so we can continue there. I have brought in some more yellows over here just to make sure that we can see the definition of the different plants. Okay, and so I think let's have a look at our pathway today. So I've set up my camera so that we have got the path in here. I also have got some plants coming across the path over there too. We might add some more just to soften the edge of the path a little bit more. Okay, I think this plant over here might also need some more definition. So let's get started and let's get going. All right. I have the door open to the studio, so which means if you see me jump up and close it, there's some noise coming in, but it was just so nice this morning. We are supposed to be in spring. Earlier this week it was so cold, so the mornings are still very nippy, but it is a beautiful spring day today. Okay, so now let's see. I would like to see what type of browns I have got. So this is a darker type of brown. Okay, I'm just going to hold it a little bit because the temperature in the studio has not warmed up yet. So I'm going to use this brown, and I'm also going to use, let me just hold another brown. This is a lighter color brown, and let's have a look at a reddish brown for contrast, and then maybe even darker. I would say maybe, okay, I will have to mix if I want to go darker. I don't really want to use black on my painting. Okay, I feel that black is a color, we can't really use it for shading. Fluffy. Fluff has joined us in the studio. She's sitting behind me in the sun on the floor, and you can hear her bell as she is shaking and grooming and going on here. Okay, I hope she doesn't start attacking my chair. You should see the back of my chair. My chair is in threads. Her claws are so long. Okay, now let's see here. I'm going to just lightly, just with a circular motion. Now I want to get this right up to the edge here so that I don't see a lighter shadow. So I am actually going over the green edge there, just so that we can see. Can you see there? It's giving it a little bit more definition and a more natural shade. Now, if you remember, my daughter started this painting many moons ago, and she painted like these crisscross markings in the forest floor on the pathway. So I'm not sure what she wanted to achieve with that. It's obviously was for texture, but we will do something else with that, because that is not something that we see really in a forest. Okay, so let's just see. We are just basically, I'm now holding my oil pastel flat. So I'm now using this side and just with this rolling action, because I have got such a nice texture on my canvas already, it is grabbing and making a very, very nice texture, which I really, really like. Oh, I don't want to hold these in my hand too long. They're going to get mushy. Okay, let's go in with this color here, the lighter reddish color, a coppery brown. Now, can you see just the color change there? It's making the path come to life. So maybe there's a little bit of sun that is coming, and it's highlighting that part. Let's see if we can add some more of that in random places, just to give us a little bit more texture, because usually a little sand path is not just plain one color. Don't know if you go hiking or walking, but there are so many colors that you can see. And now you can also see I'm using my finger to smooth. Now what my finger is doing is, because it's an oil pastel, it can heat up the oil a little bit and I can move it around. Okay, so that is very nice. I like to do that. Let's put some more in here. Now putting it on flat. Let's see if we go over these here. Okay, now I see here it's making a line. This is the frame, how my canvas has been framed. So I will just have to take care here not to emphasize that line there. Okay, I'm glad I saw that. It's the frame on the backing of the canvas that we're seeing there now. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's go to this one here and let's work on this one. Oh, it's so noisy. Can you see the effect and the texture that we're getting? I love it. I think it's amazing. It doesn't have to have this effect the whole way through, but look at what we're creating here. Wow. Look at that. Now if I go in with my finger here and there, I can blend it slightly. push some of it around. Okay, so now what I want to do at the bottom is I'm going to move all this away, and then I will just do something at the bottom. I don't want it to make a definite line here on the wood frame, the wooden frame. I just want to add some more dark over here. Let's see over there. Just get those pieces of path in there. Okay, here too. All right. Here again, I want to bring it as close to the shrubbery and thingies here as possible. And I'm going to even put it in between, because so that it will form a shadow. Remember this purple shrub over here with the purple flowers, it is hanging over the pathway. Okay, so I'm adding in some of the shadows in between. Oh dear, I see that we have frozen. Hold on 1 second, let me just see. Sorry about that. Okay, we are back. All right, now let's have a look. This is what I was mentioning now, that I have added behind the purple, I have added the darker brown, so that it looks as if it's making a shadow underneath. All right, I think I've got the angle wrong now. There we go. Okay, all right, so now let's see. I want to work over here, so I'm going to move the pastels out of the way so that I can get my hand in here. Okay, and I'm going to use, if I put the pastel over here, that wooden bar ends there, so I don't want to use something that's longer that's going to emphasize that mark there. So now what I want to try and do here is just emphasize on this side so that we don't see that mark so prominently. You can see, I'll take my left hand. I can also use it there at the bottom. Okay, now you will see that there is a gap. Can you see that there's this white or a lighter gap? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to push the canvas away from the wooden frame. I'm putting my hand in at the behind. Can you see how it's moving here? Okay, so I'm going to physically put my hand in between the canvas and the wood so that it doesn't make a line, so that I can just go over here quickly just to blend it. Over here, let me just get my hand in this side. There we go. Crisis no longer relevant. There we go. Okay, so now we can see we got it all. There's a slight line. I see the line still. I'll work on this line. Okay, let me take another color. Let's see. Okay, now I'm going to multiply my I always say, when I break my oil pastels in half or in tiny pieces, I get more. So now let's make more oil pastels. Okay, so let's see. I want to work on this line a little bit more. Okay, that noise was Floof that landed on top of the table. Hello, Floof. Are you going to sit in the sun? Okay, I just want to get my hand in here. I want to see, where do I see that line? I see that line over here. There we go, that's getting there. And it's just this line over here that I can still see. Let's see. I'm just making tiny circular motions with the pastel, just going over. I'm pushing the canvas away from the wood so that I don't have that line there. Let me see if I can get my hand so far so that I can. And then I'm going to the top and to the bottom of it, smoothing up and down so that we don't see that line. There we go. That's much better. What do you think? And it's given our pathway a very nice shadow here. Let's just move that away a little bit so that you can see better. Okay. And now when I am on the wood, it's okay, because then I can just continue here. Something that we never want to do is when we are fixing something or making a line or something, don't stop short. Make sure you blend it in. Blend everything, blend it every direction so that you don't see the mark that you are trying to cover. Okay, so that's it like that. Okay, let's see. Oh, I like what I'm seeing. Okay, now this corner here is a bit bare. So let's have a look here and see what we can do here. Now, because it is on the wood and on the end here of my canvas, I'm just going to do that like this. And then the bottom section I will work off later with a little bit of paint. What I'm going to do with the sides all around the frame, I usually paint it black so that it is uniform and you only have the front. Sometimes I would continue the painting, especially if it's a box frame, then I would continue the painting around the sides, but this is a skinny stretched canvas, so I'm not going to do that today. Okay, so let's see, where else, let me have a look on camera, where else do I see something that needs to be done? On the pathway, I think it needs a little bit more of the brighter red. Let's see here. I just want to bring in some more over here. Now I must just be careful that I don't duplicate the problem I just overcame. Let me just see. Push it away. Okay. Okay. Another color that we can bring in here is yellow ochre, but I feel that we don't really have to use yellow ochre because the base was a very light color, so it already gives us that yellow ochre feel. What I want to fix is over here. That should be a dark shadow. The shadow should start from the green and not have a light piece there, because if we have in nature where the path is like this, the foliage would grow over it, it would have a dark shadow underneath. It won't have a piece of light and then a shadow. Okay, so this is something here that we have to sort out quickly. Where's my darker brown? This one here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start here at the bottom. I'm making sure that I did not go over the wood there. And I'm bringing this in. I'm bringing it right up to the end. And usually when we are looking at plants in the forest, the edge where we can see the plant, that always looks more moist than the path itself. So it's a darker color, it's a richer tone. So let's continue there. Let's see, I have got a very dark green that I can also put on here, just to give it a more even darker shadow. I feel that I want to add a dark shadow here. I'm going to mix it in with the brown. And then the nice thing about the pastels is that you can work on top of another color. Okay, let me just put my hand down here again. I don't want to make the same mark touching the wood. Okay, so that has given it a very nice shadow. What do you think? Here we can see that the foliage is hanging over the pathway, and underneath there is a darker shade. Okay, so now what I want to do there is I want to see if I can just highlight some of the foliage that's coming across the path. Let's just make a little bit of grasses and thingies that's coming over. There we go. Look at that. That's so cute. Okay, let's do another one here. I could maybe add another one over here. Bottom. This one is on the wood, so I don't have to worry about that too much. Okay, that looks nice. Okay, now let's see. On this side, as I follow the curve here, I want to do the same with bringing in some darker color here at the bottom, because from our perspective where we are standing, we are looking at it now, and we also want to have the folded over section of the foliage. It's going over across the pathway. Okay, so I just want to make sure I don't have my going to add some of this green in here. This is a nice darker green too. Gives us just a different shade. Okay, let's see, good. Okay, so now I can play with bringing more colors over. Yes, that now looks much better. I like that. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, let's have a look. Which other colors? I can put my colors back here. I tell you, I have got art supplies that I must have purchased 15 years ago, and I have decided that I am not buying any more art supplies until I've used them, because they are just sitting in cupboards and they are not being used, and it's not right. We should use what we buy. And sometimes our cupboards are so stuffed full of art supplies we forget we have it. Okay, so we should maybe take stock and see what do we have. And something interesting that I did yesterday is I decided that my old apron, now I have got a very old art apron, and the art apron was like a soft cream beigey color or off-white. It was never white, but during the years it's just become more tatty and more tatty. So yesterday I decided to spruce it up. I made it multicolored because I have got so much fabric paint. I have got any type of paint you can think of, I have got. And I did make a video of the process. I'm not sure how to get it now. The video is so, the file is so big, I am not sure how to transfer it to here so that I can actually make the video of it. So I'm still working on that. Otherwise I will just take a few stills, just a few photos, and then just talk over it. Okay, but yes, my apron looks amazing. It has got a funny smell though. I think my yellow was off because it was all blobby from age, and it smells like milk that has gone off. So this morning I came in the studio and thought, oh foo, what is that smell? And I smell it's the apron. I hope that will, once it's dry, it will go away. Because that's hilarious. Okay, if I look here on the camera, this section here is too manicured for me. We've got the leaf going here, and then this is such a very straight line there. So I don't want a very straight line there. So I'm going to make more grasses coming over this section here. We can make some grasses here. It's amazing. It's amazing what you can achieve with just a little piece of oil pastel. Look at that. It's amazing. It's just changed the whole vibe there. Okay, so now I want to see, I'm gonna have oil pastel all over my face today because I keep scratching my face. Let's see here. I want to bring in, let's take the pink. We've got a very nice pink. So let's see if we can bring in some pink somewhere, maybe next to this here. Okay, let's see. What do we want to do with the pink? I'm just going to make it little lines like that. I'm just moving my pastel like this to form squiggles like that. I just need to put my hand here. You can see I'm rolling it over, and I'm also positioning my plant like that so that it looks as if it is spilling over the path. Okay, I want to bring in a different color with that. Let's see, I'm going to bring in this green to give it a few stems. Let's see if I can do that. There we go. I think I like that. Okay, so where else can we bring in some more color? This plant here, I think needs a little bit of attention. It's almost very, it's too subtle. Okay, so I need to bring this out more. So I have got the darker shadows there. So let me take a lighter green. Let's have a look at this green here. Was it the green I used just now? Yes. It's all dirty. Look at my fingers. Oh, okay, it's okay. We can just clean it off. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can maybe emphasize this plant here so that we don't lose it, because it's as if it's melted into the background. How about that? Let's see. I want to see about this one here. Camera, follow my hand. Let me see if I can touch on it from this side. There we go. Okay, so we can see immediately that there's a difference. It is so much fun to be able to do this with the oil pastels afterwards. If you have an old oil painting that you feel is dull, it needs a little bit of oomph, try your oil pastels over it. And you don't have to really work it because they are so soft. You just have to touch and it would leave color behind. Okay, so now let's see here. Where else do we want to do something? Let me see. I feel this section here looks very smudged and very even. Okay, so I think what we need to do here is we have to define again the greenery, because now we brought in some yellow and oranges here to bring that whole undergrowth, or what do you call it, ground cover, the ground cover with the orangey yellow. But this over here is, it looks as if it has been smoothed into, and it's not giving me the same vibe as anywhere else in this painting. So I think we should bring in some more green there, and I think I am going to start with the darker green, like a mid-tone green, this one here, just to see if we can just create the greenery again. Okay, so now let's see. I'm just going to bring it in here and there. I'm basically just using the stippling action. In between here, just to see if we can give it a little bit more definition, that it's not just a smoothed out section. I like what I'm seeing now because I can see a little bit more definition. I just want to bring that in there by the tree. You can see it's already giving us, it's not that smeared look. It had a very smeared look here also. It is very, or blended. It's too blended for me here. So let's just work in a little bit of this green. We are going to move away from that green and go to this green here, the darker green. I just want to hold this one for a little bit. I like what I'm seeing already. It is not only putting the green back, it's only also giving a little bit more definition to the flowers here. Okay, I must say I like this color here too. I think it's a fun, it's like a lemony yellow. It's a very fun color, so I like that color. Let's see. Okay, let's bring in a different green next to the other green. we can highlight the yellows again just to make them stand out now that we have got more of a background. That looks so much better. Okay, cool. All right, so now I have a problem. I didn't take a rag, so I will clean these off afterwards. This is like a cool yellow. It's the same yellow I used here. If you look at the different yellows, let me see here. Let me grab this yellow. You can see this is a warmer color. It's more yellow, and this one is just, it's a very, very pale. It's a more cool. And then all the different yellows that you get, you can see the temperature, it's going warmer and warmer. Okay, so I'm going to use this one here. Now let's see. Okay, I'm just going to bring in a few things. Let me just find a nice tip. Okay. Can you see? It's already giving a little bit more definition. Okay. What we want to try and avoid is blending again. So now I'm going to just have a look where I can put the yellow. Just here and there. I just want to bring in a bit of the yellow. I don't want it to get the green on top, so I'm just cleaning it on my hand. Okay, there we go. I think that looks good. All right. Where else do we want to do something? Let's see. I think we're about there. I'm really happy with the feeling that I get when I look at all of the foliage and all the different plants. We've got some pinks, we've got some purples. Yeah, I think I like what I see. I like the darker yellow, the brighter yellow there. Over here we've got, oh, let's do something here with this one. Let's see if we can just give it a few more highlights. That looks very nice. All right. I think we are finished with this one. Yay! Okay, let's have a look here. All right. I am very, very happy with the outcome. I'm going to take you closer. Whoopsie. Okay, now, if I want to get the whole complete picture in, oh, I'm going into the sun here. That is the whole one. Wow. It's such a difference from where we started. Can you remember what it looked like? Okay, oops. And then if I go closer, I can go in closer to the side here. Look at those shrubs. They are absolutely beautiful. We can see all of these here. We can see the pathway. Here we can see everything here. I think it looks very, very nice. I am very happy with it. Okay, I am really stoked. I think it came out very, very nicely. What do you think? Do you like it? I really, really like it. Yes, so that was a lot of fun. So now remember that you don't have to buy new art supplies, even if your art supplies are more than 5 years old. They work. I've got oil paint that I've must have purchased 30 years ago. So they are still fine. They can still work. You don't need to think, oh, I have to throw it away. Try it out, test it. You can find something that you can paint. Okay. So thank you so much. Thank you for being with me on this journey. I really appreciated your company, and wow, I did it. We did it. Okay. Thank you so much. I will see you soon. Have a fantastic day. Bye.